Lonna Barton will spend the next 5 years in prison for child neglect and lying to police about her little boy's death. The mother of her co-defendant, Ruben Ebron, is disappointed with the sentence.
Lonna is no, innocent person.
The prosecutor on the case trying to find some good in the tragedy.
If nothing else came out of this case, the idea that a lot of folks can get together to share common cause in the face of tragedy, I think speaks well of this community.
The maximum penalty for child neglect was 5 years and 1 year for lying to police. The judge sentenced her to the maximum on both, but her plea calls for the sentences to run concurrently.
Barton faced those charges in connection with the death of her 21-month-old son, Lonzy. Our team of reporters was there inside the courtroom for the sentencing. Channel 4's Jim Pickett spoke with Ruben Ebron's parents right after Barton's sentencing, but we begin with Channel 4's Chris Parento. Chris, did Barton display any reaction to the sentence?
She really didn't, not when the sentencing was read, not earlier on when her defense team was making their argument for why the sentence should be less. Lonna Barton's parents were also in court today. They didn't have any reaction as that sentence was read, and I asked them afterwards if they had any comment. They told me no. This was the first time that they had been in court for one of her hearings here in Duval County. Prosecutors said afterwards that part of what complicated this case is the still conflicting stories between Lonna Barton and Ruben Ebron. The prosecutor said that based on the facts they have, there's nothing that can disprove either of them. Prosecutor Rich Manti said in court that there were some details about the death of Lonzy Barton that he still couldn't get into. He said that the autopsy report is not yet complete, but that there still could be some impact to Lonna Barton.
There are ongoing matters involving the death of Lonzy Barton, and beyond that, I really shouldn't get into it because, as you say, they're ongoing. And a lot of people want to speculate and guess and say that things ought to happen, and all I can say is, look, I don't want to jeopardize anything that might happen, and so I'm not going to get into it.
Lonna Barton's attorney, Kevin Carlisle, asked Judge Mark Borrello for much less than the maximum sentence, instead hoping that she would get 1 year in jail with credit for time served. Carlisle said that in addition to losing her freedom during her sentence, she's also lost her right to be a mother. Manti says the state believes that Lonna Barton has earned herself a prison term.
There is no way that you could say any term of years is ever justice for the death of an infant child.
Manti said that this case has been frustrating from the start with lies from both Barton and Ruben Ebron. I asked Rich Manti if he believes Barton entered her plea to take responsibility for what happened or for some other self-serving reason. He said he wasn't sure why she did it.
I can tell you that, she came forward, she offered her statement, and she fulfilled her agreement. But her motivations for doing that, I think those are as varied possibly as the other circumstances in this case.
Some have questioned why Barton hasn't been charged in Lonzy's death. Manti says that based on the facts they have and what they can prove in court, there isn't enough evidence to support a charge like that right now. Lonna Barton is back in the Baker County Jail waiting to be transferred to state prison. Again, she does get credit for the 169 days that she has already served in jail. Her attorney declined comment after today's hearing. A spokesman for the attorney said that he didn't want to jeopardize anything involving her ongoing drug charges in Baker County. Live at the Duval County Courthouse, I'm Chris Parento, Channel 4, the local station.
The action in the courtroom today was quick, and so was the reaction from the family of Ruben Ebron, who was sentenced to 20 years for his role in the little boy's death. Like Barton, Ebron is also facing drug charges in Baker County in separate cases. After court was adjourned, his mother and father both spoke with Channel 4's Jim Pickett, who's joining us now live. Jim?
Ruben Ebron's parents say they still have lots of questions regarding the death of Lonzy Barton, and they really want to know why they were lied to by both their son and by Lonna Barton all at the beginning of this case. But they still believe that the sentencing today was very unfair. They've followed the case from the start and have been outspoken, standing up for their son and Lonna. But now I asked them about the sentencing today. What do they think?
I'm disappointed. It's not equal.
It's not equal, you said?
I don't think it's equal justice. That's the mother of a child.
Tell us why you think that.
Because I think she knows more. I think she saw more. I think they tried to basically pull her out of it and put all of the emphasis strictly on my son. like she had no involvement.
Wanda Ebron went on to make statements insinuating that race was a big factor in the sentencing.
As far as being angry, yes, I'm angry. Not so much as the system. We know how the system is. If you have to ask me, was that a fair sentence, then you already know the answer.
And that answer has stirred up the state attorney's office, which says race had no factor.
The statement that somehow she got, what was it, an all-American Express card deal, or because of the race of the defendant in this case, you know, again, that sounds to me like people who are, and I guess understandably, upset that they are now in the position of having, I think it's now 2 sons in unpleasant positions. And I understand why they're upset, but to lash out in that way.
Manti says that they have to go with the evidence on hand, and all they have is Ebron's word, and that's why they went with this deal.
To suggest that this case and the outcome in this case and the charges in this case had anything to do with the race of any of the parties, frankly, it's fraudulent, it's phony, and it's offensive.
Now, Ebron's parents say they have been talking to him since he's been in jail right now, and they said they haven't really been talking about Lonna. What they have been talking about is the children, the education, and events like that. We're live at the courthouse. Jim Pickett, Channel 4, the local station.